All right, here we go. I guess to kind of get back to it, Van and I are gonna be counting out our nine most anticipated movies for 2019, just because it's 2019 and the number nine is there, so it's like, why not just pick nine movies instead of 10? Because 10 is incredibly tacky. And I couldn't really gather 10 films I'm like dying to see for the most part. I don't know about you, but
I couldn't gather five films that I'm dying to see for the most part.
oh,
There's
okay.
like there's like a good number that I'm like super excited for, and then the rest I'm like I'll see them for sure, but I'm not like dying to see them.
Let's see. On my list, I have like five or six, same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I think 2019 is gonna be a very promising year. It's hard to we basically just going off like the big profile films.
yeah. The majority of mine are big profile, and then I have like two or three that I'm sort of just like crap shooting based on like the director and some actors. But yeah, most of them are like blockbusters that already have trailers and stuff.
So do you want to kick off your list first? You want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right.
So this first movie comes out March 15th. It's called Us. There's not much known about it plot-wise, but it's the new Jordan Peele film.
Okay.
So, yeah, so after he had a lot of success with Get Out, I think this is going to be a similar tone kind of movie. Um, Sort of a horror slash almost comedy slash maybe something political. Really, no one knows anything about it, so it's one of those ones where you just have to assume that it's going to be good because Get Out was pretty good. Um, in the cast, you have Lupita Nyong'o and Elizabeth Moss. Those are really the only two big standouts that I'm looking at. So I take it you don't know much about this either, because
I saw that a trailer was supposed to come out Christmas Day.
oh really?
Yeah.
I know like a poster just came out. It's like a
Yeah.
okay poster.
I mean, it's intriguing to say the least.
Yeah, yeah, just one that we can't do too much talking about because no one really knows anything. But
But so I was one of those, I really liked Get Out. I thought Get Out was really solid. I don't know if it's straight up horror though. I saw it
yeah,
more as like a dark comedy with like horror aspects to it.
yeah, it's like a commentary on the horror genre.
Yeah.
Also, very enjoyable. I'm kind of sad I didn't see it in a theater. Um, I think it's kind of overrated. Like I know
Mhm.
there are some people that think it like should have won Best Picture, and it's like a snub that it lost. And I think it was like fine that it was nominated, but I think it should stop there.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think it deserved to be nominated. I mean, it was the best horror film to really come out critic wise for a relatively long time.
Yeah, it felt very fresh.
Yeah. I'm super happy it won screenplay. I feel like if it was gonna win anything, it had to have been screenplay.
Yeah,
Even though I do think that the last act does get a bit messy,
yeah,
but yeah, this was one of those films where I've known about it, but I'm not necessarily hyped for it because, like I said, Get Out, I liked a good deal. It was definitely one of the better films of 2017, but I wasn't one of the people screaming about it.
hmm
And I am intrigued because Lupita Nyong'o won an Oscar back in 2013, has not met the same stature she has since.
yeah. I agree. Although, yeah, I think she hasn't been doing. I don't really know what she did. Like she was in Black Panther,
Yep,
and then
she was good in Black Panther.
but she hasn't done anything really like prestigey, like on the same level as 12 Years a Slave. So who knows? Maybe this could be her return to glory.
It could be.
Hope so.
I mean, she's been in the Star Wars films,
Oh, right.
and then the chess movie King of Katye.
Queen. Oh, yeah. I never saw that.
Me neither. I just know that good old Hickey was like chess movie.
He definitely saw it.
Yeah. All right. So that's your first film.
Yeah. And I will say, like, Us is one of the ones that I sort of put to round out my list. It's not like the first one I instantly like thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of movies that I'm sort of excited for, and I just had to pick nine, so I picked Us. But
Gotcha.
I am excited for it.
My first film is a movie I am dying to see right now. It comes out January 18th. That'd be Glass.
Oh, all right.
I am unbelievably excited because I love Unbreakable. Unbreakable is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. Sorry to the Sixth Sense. Unbreakable is better. And then Split from 2016, I think is really underrated. James McAvoy gave me the best performance of his entire career, and I thought that it was a really smartly constructed film. And the way it tied it, I mean, spoiler alert, trailers out and all that. The way it seamlessly connected to Unbreakable is so good. And the first two trailers have won me over. I hope that this is gonna launch M Night Shyamalan back to where he was when he made The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable and Signs. I hope that he can successfully land a trilogy. You know, just a really good, solid trilogy. Because if it's anything as good as Split or Unbreakable, I will be incredibly happy about this film. Because it's great to see Bruce Willis back in the role. It's great to see Sam Jackson back in the role. And again, James McAvoy absolutely killed it in his last performance as a character that's just. I can't wait to see this.
So probably, well, the reason I don't have this on my list because I actually haven't seen either Unbreakable or Split, but I am planning to see both of them before Glass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting when a movie comes out like 20 years ago and then all of a sudden it's about to be a trilogy. Um, and I'm saying this not having even seen any of the movies, but
So the great thing about Unbreakable is that it's a deconstruction of what a superhero film is. And it came out at the wrong time. And the movie had come out maybe I want to say 8 years later than it did instead of the year 2000. Back when, if it came out around like 2008, 2009, when Iron Man came out, it would have been a much bigger film than it was. I think that would have been better critically received as well because everyone's comparing it to the end to The Sixth Sense. You look at the Rotten Tomato score; it says it doesn't have a better ending than The Sixth Sense. It's like that shouldn't even matter why you like this movie or not. But apparently, it was a big deal back in the year 2000. But no, Unbreakable, like I said, it's great. Split. I just hope this is the one movie towards like it needs to be good. For me, this is one of the movies where it just has to be good, or else I just won't be happy. You know,
yeah,
some of the other franchise films they can be okay or whatever, but I want my M Night Shyamalan Unbreakable trilogy. That's what I want to get the Blu-ray when all three films come out and just be. I want it alongside my Planet of the Apes. I want this to be the next great trilogy after the Planet of the Apes stuff.
yeah,
That's Glass.
yeah. I can see that. If the two first movies have already come out and they're both great, you really want the third one to not sort of ruin it.
Hmm. And I think that it's gonna go into. I don't know. I like how it's pitting Bruce Willis against both James McAvoy and Samuel L. Jackson, and I don't want to talk about Unbreakable or spill a whole lot because you haven't seen them. I think they're definitely worthy of of you seeing them.
Mm,
But the way they're posting Sam Jackson's role alongside James McAvoy, it's exactly what I wanted it to be, and I just think, like I said, I think it's gonna be good because I think M Night Shyamalan has realized his issues, and he's just gonna come back and knock this one out of the park.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a very I'm like not really a M Night Shyamalan fan because I just haven't seen a lot of his stuff. Like I've seen The Sixth Sense, but I already knew the spoiler going in, and then obviously The Last Airbender is like the worst movie ever. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I I will definitely get myself caught up and get ready for Glass.
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you have another film?
Yeah. Although it occurs to me, but what's the date of your next film?
Um, February 22nd.
All right. Well, my next one's not till April, so maybe you should just go again. Just that
Okay.
just seems to make more sense.
So February 22nd is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
Oh,
So the How to Train Your Dragon fan, have you seen those films?
I was gonna just say I've seen the first one, but not the second one.
Okay. This is my favorite animated series of this decade. I think the two are incredibly strong, really well written, funny, creative, and fun movies. And for a while, I thought that Kung Fu Panda was the last series that could have been great. Number one was really good. Number two, I think, might be a little bit better. And they dropped the ball big time with number three. I did not like Kung Fu Panda 3 at all. And so I think How to Train Your Dragon has the next chance to be the next great animated trilogy. Maybe the second all time great animated trilogy because we only really have Toy Story
Right.
at this point. And if you want to count Shrek, which I won't, or Ice Age, which I won't, I don't know any other great, animated trilogies out there.
Hmm. Yeah, Shrek and Ice Age feel like the first one, and then the other two are just like cash grabs, honestly. Toy Story
Mhm.
3 feels like the only animated trilogy where 2 and 3 are actually as like respectable as movies themselves as the original.
Mhm.
There's really not too many to name at all.
And going back, like the first How to Train Your Dragon, I would list as one of my favorite movies of that year easily. And the second one is just outside my top 10 of 2014. Both movies are really good, and the thing that surprises me about this trilogy as a whole is that they're very mature. Especially number two deals with a lot of really great family issues and very human problems that a lot of animated films won't even dare to cross. And I feel like the again, this one I'm a bit more hesitant because I haven't loved the trailers, but the pattern with the How to Train Your Dragon films is that they don't put out excellent trailers by any means. So they've always been fine, and the film itself manages to succeed, surpass the marketing. And I'm not huge about like, oh, Toothless has found a girlfriend or whatever. Like to me, it's like okay, I don't know how I feel about that, but with the same creative team coming back, I have faith in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's another series that I have to get caught up on, I guess. Yeah, I remember I really enjoyed the first one, like as an animated movie. I always have like different standards for animated movies because I understand they're like for kids or whatever, but it was good.
It is. I don't know. I just feel like that manages to balance comedy with the family drama and really exciting action scenes too. The action scenes are surprisingly great in both, especially number two. Number two has a few. I would say the second How to Train Your Dragon has maybe the second best animated action sequence behind maybe Kung Fu Panda 2.
Which scene in Kung Fu Panda 2?
The ending. Like the
I
big long. Do you not remember it?
I can't keep those Kung Fu Panda movies straight. Is that the one with like a rhino in it, where
Um,
he's like the villain?
no, it has it's a bird.
Oh,
Gary Oldman plays the bird. I can't remember what the villain, Shen, Lord Shen.
hmm. Well, anyway, all right.
Either way, yeah, no, I am looking forward to it. I just hope they don't drop the ball. Like, if this one's like okay, it's like okay, you almost had it. I still have the other two. It's not like Glass where it just needs to succeed for me. I just want it to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all want these movies to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any movies before April 26th?
Or April 26th. No, I don't.
Do you have a movie on April 26th?
Gee, I don't know. I guess we gotta talk about it right now.
I guess it's time. So on April 26th is Avengers Endgame. So 11 years later, after Iron Man 1, here we are at Avengers Endgame, and I'm like surprisingly invested uh, in what's gonna happen. This is probably like maybe the most impressive culmination of like a series of films, both in terms of quality and in terms of like cultural hype, honestly. Um, anyway, yeah, Avengers Endgame. There's not even too much to say about it because it just like speaks for itself.
Yeah, I can't begin to say how excited I am for this. Infinity War, as of right now, is still by far my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way they ended it is such a perfect. The one thing I want from Avengers Endgame is that I want it to feel like the most somber film in the MCU thus far. Like I want the dark, sad tone going in for it, and I do want, serious consequences. Whether it's Captain America or Iron Man to die permanently, I feel like one of them has to at this point.
Mm,
Because, Tony Stark is lost in space. NASA's gonna go get him because, he's Matt Damon now.
yes, exactly.
And I don't know, there's just a lot of unanswered questions. I'm just excited to see how this one's gonna unfold.
Hmm. Um, I remember having doubts before Infinity War about how they were going to pull it off. Were they going to actually have people die? Um, were they going to have, I mean, just was it going to be good? And then they pull it off so impressively. I mean, we've talked about Infinity War before on this podcast, both being an amazing movie within itself while also leaving room for, obviously, for this sequel. So I guess I'm almost not super worried about this because I honestly just have faith in the Russo brothers. Like,
Yeah, like That's a very. I'm not worried. It's gonna be at least good. Like
yeah,
no doubt in my mind, it's gonna be at least good.
yeah. Like, there's another franchise movie a little down the list for me that I'm actually concerned about how the quality is going to be. Um, and we'll get into that later. But Avengers Endgame, I'm just excited. I'm not even worried about it. I like know it's going to be great. I'm not even worried about it being bad, honestly.
Yeah, that's like a good going into a movie just thinking, man, I just can't wait to see how this series ends.
I know that's like the fanboy mentality. Like that's why Suicide Squad has a such a high audience score because people just know they want to like it and they decide they liked it. But
I know. And you mentioned it's been, 11 years since the first Iron Man. This is really the end of a legacy in a lot of ways. No.
yeah, yep. No matter what happens after this for the MCU, it is like a complete story at this point.
Hmm.
Um,
And I've told a couple of people this, but I feel like once Endgame happens, I might be done with the MCU depending on what direction they go.
yeah, or I'll be done caring as much as I do now, anyways.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, you were talking about you really wanting M Night Shyamalan to stick the landing with his trilogy.
Hmm.
Talk about a franchise that would really suck to not stick the landing. I mean, 11 years in the making. Infinity War just this year was perfect. Like,
It's weird to say. I feel like every time we say how great Infinity War is, there's gonna be like either DC fans or like pretentious film critics like, oh, you're just Marvel fanboys. You just love it because it's like big explosions and there's like big special effects. It's not as good as Roma. Roma's so. I'm just like, no, that's not the reason I love Infinity War. I mean, the action scenes are great in the film, but that's not the reason I love it so much.
yeah. I mean, I would never say Infinity War is like the best movie that came out this year.
No.
It might be my favorite for what it is, but I would never say it should win Best Picture or something.
Right, when I say like it's the best movie of the year, it's a subjective opinion.
Yeah, it's the best in the context of like what it is.
Exactly.
Um,
It's
it
like
pulled off its goal like more successfully than any other movie this year,
Hmm.
probably.
Like I get like is it as creatively sound as Roma? No, it's not. But I'm not gonna take away from like everything it does is so good, and I think the Russo Bros are gonna carry everything they set up and Infinity War and just push it in Endgame. Like
Hmm.
I'm excited to see all the original Avengers come together, and I cannot wait. The thing I'm most excited for about this movie is where Thanos is gonna be after the events of Infinity War.
Hmm.
Because I guess he's gonna become, Farmer Thanos on his little farm, growing like, potatoes and like, carrots.
Probably weed.
Probably weed, yeah. He gets so high they can't beat the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then it's the Cap and Iron Man re- reunion
Hmm.
excited for because I always forget that they never meet each other and talk to each other in Infinity War. So at that
Right.
point, it's gonna be like either 2 or 3 years since they've spoken to one another.
Hmm.
So I'm just curious, like, what the first interaction's gonna be.
Yeah. Yep. I'm also curious because we have a lot of puzzle pieces, basically
Mm.
puzzle pieces. We have the whole Ant-Man situation.
Yep.
We have the Captain Marvel situation,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the Doctor Strange situation. In my opinion, those are like the three puzzle pieces going into Endgame. So I just hope they don't do anything predictable, I guess.
Right. Infinity War did a really good job at subverting expectations really throughout.
Hmm.
So I feel like they're gonna throw in a few curveballs. Oh, and by the way, because you mentioned Captain Marvel, I mean Captain Marvel is not on my list here. Not that I'm not excited for, just trailers haven't done it for me
Yeah,
personally.
yeah. Well, Captain Marvel itself is also something that needs to be good in Endgame also. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll see Captain Marvel, but it's almost just like you could put it on the list, but like next to Endgame, it just seems like sort of like not as significant, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. I know. But though that's Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess do you have something on before May 31st?
No.
Okay. Godzilla King of the Monster. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I don't remember the last time I freaked out watching a trailer when Godzilla and motherfucking King Ghidorah were running at each other in the city about the clash. And I'm not mean walking, they were running at each other. The 5-year-old in me was freaking the fuck out. I am so unbelievably excited for this movie, I can't even express it. I have, so, at this point, I think there's like 33 Godzilla films made to this day. I think I own 25 of them. Like looking at them right now, thinking, man, I didn't have a sound childhood. But I remember watching the classic Ghidorah film where it was Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah all in the same film instead of what the monsters is. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like an American remake, but with better special effects. And I cannot wait to see the American version of Rodan and Mothra and King Ghidorah on screen. I am going to freak out in the movie theater watching this thing.
Yep. Um, yeah, this isn't on my list, obviously, but I do have a lot of things to say about it. First of all, in terms of how successful it's going to be, I think the first Godzilla was mildly successful, but the biggest complaint was that there wasn't enough Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I am normally the type of person that discourages including really big, important moments in a trailer because I think it can spoil them happening in the movie. However, I think it was really smart for them to make the trailer as bombastic as it was because I think they'll get a lot of the crowd that was sort of disappointed in the first movie back into the theater just based on how much action there is in the trailer. And I will say that trailer did look pretty fucking cool just in terms of like CGI monster explosions. Um, Here's what I'll say about it. I'm the type of person that has like stopped getting popcorn at the movies because I sort of just think it's obnoxious, and those aren't the type of like movies that I generally like to see. But I cannot wait to eat popcorn watching Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So that's what I have to say about it.
I told you this. If it's a great movie, cool. This movie could have the worst acting, have the worst dialogue. But if you give me the monster action you're promising in these trailers, I will not care.
Hmm.
Because I really like the Garrett Edwards 2014 film. I do. It's a really well made movie, but my is not enough Godzilla. And this film is promising us you're gonna get kick ass monster fights. And they've only shown a key couple scenes. I think that I won't be surprised if most of this film is monster action. I really think that the company was like, alright, this was the introduction. Here is the main course with dessert.
Is this Warner Brothers? I think it
It
is.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
again, it's
mean,
like,
I only my only hope is that the best moments weren't in the trailer. Like I hope they picked some awesome moments. Well, obviously they picked some awesome moments, but I hope them running like you were talking about the scene of Godzilla and that Hydra looking thing, or
mhm,
not Hydra. What's the thing with like nine heads,
it's three heads.
three heads, or whatever.
It's
Anyway,
okay.
I hope that shot isn't like the climax of the movie. Is what I'm asking.
I mean,
But
it's probably gonna be like the last fight, but it's. I feel like it's just gonna be this really long, awesome sequence of them just, throwing down like free for all Royal Rumble style WWE type shit.
mhm,
And
yeah,
the other great thing is like I liked the Mudos in the first film, but they have three fan favorites. Rodan looks great. Mothra looks great. And Kinjidora looks great. And the thing that keeps blowing my mind is how good the special effects look. And they're not even done with them at this point.
right.
I mean, we
Um,
have another 5 months until the movie comes out. It's like, how good are they gonna look at that point? Who knows? I, I'm just telling you, I'm gonna be sitting in a movie theater, becoming a 5-year-old again, jumping in my seat, wanting to cheer when this kick-ass monster fight stuff is going down. I am so excited for this movie. I wish it was coming out tomorrow.
wow, high praise or high excitement level, I
It's
guess.
a lot of it is nostalgia. 100%. It's like love nostalgia because I watched all the Godzilla films as a kid. And despite how cheesy and bad they are, I still get a kick out of them watching them every now and then. And this one I think is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Also, this is who's is it? Millie Bobby Brown?
yeah,
Is that her name? I get this is probably her movie debut, right? Or at least a big role movie debut
big
that
role,
I can
yeah.
think of. So I like her in Stranger Things, but I'm like hesitant to see how she does with like a different kind of role because 11 is like a very like specific type of character that acts kind of quirky, I guess.
Mhm.
So anyway,
And the thing I like about the trailers too, beyond the monster stuff, is like I like how they're portraying the monsters really being like this like extinction level event. Like all of them coming together is just like this huge big deal. And I swear to God, Ken Watanabe was brought on this earth to deliver one-liners. The
yes.
moment in the trailer where they're like, "Are we making Godzilla our pet?" And he goes, "No, we're his pet."
We're his pet, yeah.
I was like, give that man a paycheck,
Yeah.
because in the first film where he just goes, "Let them fight," was the coolest line of 2014, and that line right there is the coolest line of 2019. And I don't even care. It's gonna be the best line of the year. Nothing's gonna top that. Nothing. No,
All right,
Watanabe
I'm gonna hold you to that. Best line of 2019 in any movie was in a trailer.
was in the trailer.
I bet the line's not even in the movie.
I will be really pissed off.
uh, All right,
But
you're getting me on the hype train for this movie. I feel like maybe I should have put it on my list, but anyway, I'll probably see it. Wait, when does that come out?
May 31st.
Mm, so I might not get to see it till because I want to see it in like a big theater. I don't really have a big theater at school, but hopefully I can see it on a big screen.
If I can go to IMAX for this thing, that'll make my year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
But
awesome.
but again, beyond Godzilla, we have other films to talk about. But
Yeah.
damn, Godzilla.
So my next movie is June 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your next movie too?
No.
Do you have one before that?
Of June, I do not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So you don't have Toy Story 4?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for Toy Story 4. I actually feel like I'm not as excited as I should be, like weirdly, because I know it's probably going to be good. Although I will say the marketing thus far hasn't really excited me like at all. Um, there's the first trailer with the fork, which I thought was kind of weird. Um, wasn't a massive fan of the theme of like a fork being able to be a toy. Just like doesn't seem that interesting to me. And then there was the Key and Peele commercial trailer. I don't know if you saw that. Like, there's a Toy Story 4 teaser where Key and Peele are playing these like stuffed animals talking about Toy Story
Oh, I
4.
saw that the other night with the spider. I thought that was really cringy.
Yeah, I also thought it was kind of cringy. And I'm like a huge Key and Peele fan, so anyway, needless to say, the marketing is weirdly like almost turned me off from this movie. But that aside, I mean, it's Toy Story 4. I feel like you got to be excited for it.
I'm so
And I will say, I'm if you asked me if I wanted this movie to be made, I might not even say yes. Like, I don't even think this movie needed to be made. But I feel like since they're making it, they must have a good idea. That's sort of how I feel about it. So anyway,
so for me, that's the reason why I didn't include it on this list. If we had made like maybe 10, 11, or 12 films, Toy Story 4 would have rolled in there. For me, the original trilogy is so good, and each film for me anyway got better and better and better.
hmm,
I can't imagine a more perfect ending to Toy Story than Toy Story 3. I say this without, any shame. Toy Story 3 is one of the 6 films I've cried at. I have no shame in saying that. The ending just hit me as a 6th grader watching that in the movie, thinking, man, this is the end. And them announcing Toy Story 4 is like, okay, I feel like it's unnecessary. I don't think it's gonna be a cash grab, but realistically, I think that it just might be a cash grab because other than Toy Story 1 and 2, there haven't been any good Pixar sequels. Like, I did not like Incredibles 2. The Cars franchise itself is a joke.
yeah,
Monsters U was like fine,
yeah, I agree.
and I don't know. I want it to be great. I'm not going into this movie hoping it sucks, but I just don't have the utmost faith in it.
I feel like the reason I'm not as upset as I might be, um, I guess I feel like like you call it the original trilogy. I never really thought that was going to be it. Even though it is a good ending, I'll admit, I was never convinced that that was the end. And it might be different if the movies had come out like right in a row. Like if Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 had all came out within like a couple years of each other, and now 10 years later they were making Toy Story 4, I would feel a little weird about it. But Toy Story 3 in itself was like years after Toy Story 2. And I remember there were people worried about Toy Story 3 in the same way that we're now worried about Toy Story 4. So,
Hmm.
because Toy Story 2 is I mean, it's not like an ending, but at least it's a good movie. So, I don't know. Whenever another movie gets added to a successful franchise, there's always people afraid that the movie's going to be bad and it's going to sort of ruin the feel of the franchise. But Anyway, like I said, I just feel like since they're making it, I feel like they must have a good reason to want to make it.
And the other thing to me is like, I think it was Tim Allen. It was either Tim Allen and Tom Hanks said, "Oh, the script made me cry," and I'm just like, that's just PR stuff.
Yeah,
I want to say that to build interest or hype, so it's just kind of like I'll take that as a grain of salt. Again, this could be great. I want it to be great. I just don't. I just feel like it doesn't need to be made.
yeah,
And like I said, if we did like top 10, Toy Story 4 probably would have been that 10th spot. But, you know, I can
yeah,
believe it.
yeah, yeah. Be a real shame if it's bad. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be bad. Just it might just leave like a bad taste in our mouths. Like, yeah, it was good, but do we really need it? So I'm hoping it actually adds something where we realize like, oh, I'm actually glad that the addition is there.
And I'm on the side of the more I hear or see Incredibles 2, the less I like it.
Yeah, me too.
So this like it's just it's left a bad taste in my mouth, sequel wise.
Yeah,
Like for me at this point, it's like if it wins the best animated Oscar, I'm gonna be upset that that over Spider Man Into the Spider Verse won.
yeah. I feel like I honestly think Spider-Man's gonna win. I
I hope the Christ it does, and fucking Incredibles too.
Yeah, I really don't want Incredibles 2 to win. Um, I guess at this point I'm rooting for Isle of Dogs. Because I wasn't like the biggest fan of Into the Spider Verse. But if Into the Spider Verse wins, I'll be happy just because the animation was so cool. But anyway, tangent aside.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
digress.
yeah. Toy Story 4, not maybe necessary, but hopefully it can prove us all wrong.
Okay.
So what's your next date?
My next date is July 26th.
All right, then you can go ahead.
What's yours?
Not till August.
Okay, so here's the thing. I did not include Spider-Man Far From Home on here.
Yeah, me either.
Did not include The Lion King.
Me either.
However, you goddamn right I included Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, wait a minute. That's my next one too. So I guess we have conflicting dates. Because
Okay?
well, anyway, I thought it was August 9th.
Nope. I have July 26th on here.
Huh. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, that's my next one also.
Two words. Quentin Tarantino. Why would I not be excited for a new Quentin Tarantino film? Hateful Eight is my second favorite film he's ever done. I think it's incredibly underrated. I think it's his best behind Django. And at this point, Tarantino just keeps getting better and better. And I know Pulp Fiction is considered his masterpiece, his magnum opus, and all that. I think Django and Hateful Eight are great films. And the cast that he has on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood alone is insane. Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kurt Russell, Tim Roth, Burt Reynolds, R.I.P. The list goes on.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. And the setting, I am incredibly curious. And the funny thing is, like, I don't even know what this movie's about.
Yep. I'll tell you, I don't know what it's about, but I was in from that first. Remember that first Margot Robbie picture that got released?
Yep.
I was in from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Margot Robbie for the first time in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think this is his first Tarantino movie, right?
Django.
Oh, obviously. All right. That was stupid. But anyway, he's back. Brad Pitt's first one since Inglourious Bastards, right?
Oh, yep. He was. Yep.
Um, so yeah, those two were probably the best parts of the movies they were in, or at least highlights of the movies they were in. So, um, and then all the typical Tarantino players are back, like Kurt Russell and um, Tim Roth and a lot of the people you mentioned. Um,
Amelia Hirsch, Dakota Fanning. You said Al Pacino.
mhm.
I mean, this list just goes on and on and Bruce Dunn's in it, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. incredible cast.
Hmm. It'll be nice. I did like The Hateful Eight, but it'll be nice to have a Tarantino movie that actually goes places also.
Right?
And just the look of it is awesome. Like
Yeah.
it looks so like I think there's been some pictures of Brad Pitt and Leo like in their suits in some fancy like 60s looking cars or something. It
Yeah.
just looks like a really fun movie. Um,
Exactly. And again, it's Quentin Tarantino. I haven't. There are three films of his I have not yet seen, but he hasn't missed, in my opinion, so far.
yeah, I agree. I think he only has actually there's some I haven't seen. I can't remember the name, but
So I haven't seen Jackie Brown, Death Proof, and Inglorious Bastards.
okay, Death Proof was the one I couldn't remember the name of. I haven't seen that. Jackie Brown is the one that I have seen that's a little just more average than the others, but it's still really enjoyable. Other than that, I think all his movies are really great. So,
Hmm. Especially, I love Django so much. Django is just the definition of awesome.
yep, yep,
And this is gonna be his ninth film. So he says he's gonna stop after his 10th, but I honestly don't believe that.
yeah. Well, he wants to do TV, so
Yep.
that's sort of his plan apparently. But
Mhm. But yeah, I mean Quentin Tarantino. I don't even know the plot, but damn, am I excited for it.
yep, I agree. So, so that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
So mine, are we done with that one?
Yep.
So my next movie is October 4th.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's the same one.
Yeah, this one I'm more curious than excited for.
Hmm.
Joker.
Yep.
Yeah. So I sort of feel like this movie is gonna be bad. Like I just have this gut feeling. But I am willing to give it like the full benefit of the doubt because it is Joaquin Phoenix who has done like very, very little wrong in his career, at least that I've seen. He's basically not only good in every movie that he's in, but he's also always in good movies, usually. So I'm hoping he didn't just pull a Tom Hardy and, well, I haven't seen Venom, um, but yeah, I mean, Robert De Niro is also in this movie, so, and I think Martin Scorsese is a producer or something.
I think he is here.
Yeah, so,
I am very, very excited for Joker. I think that this is what DC needs to do. The cinematic universe isn't doing great. I mean, I've done a lot of crap talking on Suicide Squad in my days, but I'm excited that this is gonna be one standalone film, something outside the universe that doesn't need to connect to anything else. It's its own thing. And you mentioned Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best actors working today.
absolutely.
I think the dude can deliver an incredible Joker. Like if he does it right, he could be on par with Heath Ledger. The acting chops to match Heath Ledger. And another thing going for it is that I think Todd Phillips is a really underrated director. Again, I haven't seen the Hangover films, but War Dogs back in 2016 was one of my favorite movies of that year.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any Todd Phillips stuff either. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say it's almost whenever a new movie featuring the Joker comes out, you just know that they're gonna be compared to Heath Ledger. It's almost like unfair for them because no one is going to probably come close to Heath Ledger ever, in my opinion. But I
Hmm.
do think that if Joaquin does something different and something original and something good, that he could stand on his own tier, um, up there with Heath Ledger. So yeah,
And I mean, I might be in the minority. I'm not sure, but I think he looks great in the Joker makeup.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the makeup. It seems a little I don't know. Like it looks too much like an actual, like it just looks like a circus clown to me.
Let me just ask you, if you're walking in the middle of the night and you looked at a dark corner and you saw that person staring at you with that makeup, would you not shit your pants?
Yeah, I probably would. I probably would shit my pants.
I would, because I'm looking at it right now, and that man has a smile that scares the daylights out of me.
I'm actually looking at some new images now because I'd only ever seen that first one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It could work.
The only thing I'm a bit hesitant about is like, I'm sorry, I don't like the Killing Joke. I just
The movie.
the movie or the comic because I don't like how it just explores his backstory because I feel like the great thing about especially Heath Ledger's Joker is like you don't know why he is the way he is, so it's always this like really scary, really intimidating factor of the unknown. So I know that they're gonna be exploring his backstory in this one. It's like it could either work or it won't work. I just like the idea that Joker is just this psychopath with no real motivation, and he doesn't need motivation.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I'm a bit hesitant about. But I feel like with Joaquin Phoenix in that role, he is just going to destroy. I think he's going to destroy the destroy the film. Really, do a great job. And I think Todd Phillips is a really competent director to helm this. I have a lot of high hopes for it.
Yeah, I'm keeping my expectations low, to say the least.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm really hoping that I'm pleasantly surprised. And I didn't realize they were exploring the backstory in this movie, but if they are, it'll. I feel like the Killing Joke backstory is basically at this point just accepted as the Joker's backstory. I think
Yeah,
even Suicide Squad sort of had references to the Killing Joke backstory, like with
that
them falling into the vat of boiling water or whatever. You know what I'm
that
talking about?
that's the other thing. Joaquin has to be better than Jared Leto.
Oh, well, that's a pretty low bar.
Yeah. I don't think Jared Leto was the worst thing ever,
Yeah,
but he was definitely more of a he was the little kitty Joker who wants to be on the big table, but Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger were like, no, 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 you sit on the kitty table,
yeah. I
and
mean, to his
so
credit, he had to do something different, and he tried his best.
he wasn't the issue with Suicide Squad. It was literally everything else.
Well, I wouldn't say he wasn't part of the issue, but he wasn't. It wasn't like he made the movie bad. Just it was
Mm,
such a mess, and he was part of the mess. But
yeah,
in my opinion,
it wasn't directly his fault. That's
yeah.
that's how I look at it.
If Heath Ledger had been in Suicide Squad, it still would have been shit. So you know,
Yeah, yeah, but that's Joker.
yep, yep.
So,
So
what's your next date?
my next date isn't until December 20th.
Okay, so I have one on October 11th.
Okay.
Zombieland 2.
Ooh, I forgot
So,
about this. Wait, is Emma
Zombieland.
Stone back?
Here's the thing. So,
Wait, she's in the first one,
all,
right?
all of the original cast members are back.
All right. Anyway,
The original Zombieland was released back in 2009, and it's one of my all-time favorite comedies. If it's on TV, I will sit down and I will laugh out loud every single time I watch it. I think Zombieland is an incredibly underrated film. It's funny as hell. It's incredibly well written. All of the actors have great chemistry with one another, and on their own, they're all great. And I can't believe it's gonna be 10 years since the original release of the original Zombieland. And they've been talking about a Zombieland 2 for such a long time. And I've been waiting patiently for them to release another one. And the fact that they have Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin back is incredibly exciting to me. Especially when you consider that since its release, Jesse Eisenberg is an Academy Award nominated actor, Emma Stone is an Academy Award winning director, Abigail Breslin has been making a good name for herself, and Woody Harrelson is still, the good old stoner he's always been.
yeah. Well, nominated last year too.
Yep, yep, he was great in three billboards, but Again, I don't think the plot's been released or anything. I'm just excited just for the sake of getting Zombieland 2 after all of this time.
Um, yeah, I've only seen the first movie once. I think it was at your house actually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember when, but so I'm not like a diehard fan of it or anything. I only seen it the one time. I did enjoy it. Not enough for me to be instantly excited for this, but if it has Woody Harrelson and Emma Stone in it, then I'm all in.
I've spent a lot of time in the past 10 years watching Zombieland. My mom also is a huge fan of it. Spoiler alert, every single time Bill Murray gets killed, we lose our shit laughing every single time.
Yep.
I think it also just comes down to the fact that I think the movie is really well written. It has a lot of other fourth wall breaking jokes that I'm excited for another one. I want to see round two in this really fucked up world of zombies.
Yep. Whenever a sequel comes out this late, you always sort of hope that it's not a cash grab and they actually have a good concept. Um,
For me, it reassures me that all the original cast members are back.
yes, this could be a good comeback for Jesse Eisenberg after his Lex Luthor days.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
genuinely forgot he was Lex Luthor.
I just remembered just now because I remember thinking he's really fallen off since the Social Network because I can't think of anything he's done. And then I just remembered Lex Luthor and I thought, oh God, feel bad for him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, Zombieland 2, at least be good. So what's your next film?
not. Oh, do you have one before December 20th?
December 20th?
Yeah.
I mean, as excited as I am for Sonic the Hedgehog, no.
Okay. All right. So this is the last one on my list that has a release date because I have a couple that don't have a release date yet.
Okay.
So yeah, Star Wars 9.
I mean, duh. Star Wars 9.
So remember when I said I was confident about Endgame, but there was a Star Wars movie that I was, or a franchise movie that I was totally not confident in?
Yeah,
This is what I was talking about.
I figured, yeah.
So I liked The Last Jedi, but when a movie divides a fan base as much as Last Jedi did, you never know what kind of crazy things they might try to do to sort of fix it. If it was up to me, I hope they just totally keep the ball that Last Jedi started rolling. But what I'm afraid is they're going to sort of retcon a lot of things that The Last Jedi did to sort of try to make everyone happy. And I'm afraid it might just be feel more like they're trying to fix the problem than instead of just making a original movie, if that makes any sense. Anyway, just with all the drama that surrounded Last Jedi, I'm just worried about Star Wars 9.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been exactly a year since the release of The Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it the second time since its release. I really borderline loved it when I saw it in the theater. The more I've marinated on it, I realized the issues it has. Like, Canto Bite isn't great,
Yeah,
and a lot of stuff with Poe doesn't make a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hardly a perfect movie. I
Yeah.
just mean like I'm a huge fan of like Luke Skywalker, for example. I think he's handled perfectly.
Everything with Luke Skywalker is the best part about that movie. I have
Oh yeah,
no issues
100%,
with any of the Luke Skywalker stuff.
100%. But a lot of people think that oh, they betrayed Luke Skywalker. He would never murder his nephew. God, I hate those people.
It's just like he was a whiny little. He's always been a whiny little bitch.
Exactly. He's always been impulsive.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
mean, obviously, I'm excited for Episode 9 because I I feel like the Disney sequel trilogy. I mean, it hasn't been the series everyone has wanted it to be, but it was never going to be. Like, I like The Force Awakens a good deal. It's a really fun, really exciting movie. It did tread too close to A New Hope, certainly, and with The Last Jedi, it tried to do so many new things that, like you said, completely turned off the fan base.
Yeah.
But being a fan of both movies, I am excited to see how they're gonna close off this trilogy. I really am, because I feel like there's a lot of answers that they haven't answered yet. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen with the Knights of Ren.
Hmm.
That's still up in the air as far as what they're gonna do. And the thing that really reassures me, that I think it's gonna be good just because JJ is coming back.
Mm.
I know a lot of people are like, they want Ryan Johnson back, or me being the Spielberg fan, I want Steven Spielberg to direct a Star Wars movie, but that's probably never gonna happen.
Hmm.
Having JJ behind the camera again, that definitely helps me.
I think on its best day, it can stick to what The Last Jedi sort of set forth while also answering some questions people still had and sort of hopefully reuniting the fan base. Best case
Hmm.
scenario.
Yeah, and especially like, I was not a fan of Solo. Have you seen that yet?
No, I'm gonna see it when it comes to Netflix next month.
I didn't know it was coming to Netflix next month. But yeah, like Solo for me, meh. And I know you and I both don't like Rogue One at all.
Yeah, I still have to give it another chance, but I don't like it.
Yeah, so it's like Disney at this point is 50-50 with those Star Wars films, and if they can conclude this trilogy at least good, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Rey's still a great character. I want them
Mm-hmm.
to use Finn a lot better than they did.
Yep.
Poe is a really exciting character. I'm curious where they're gonna go with the Kylo Ren stuff and the Luke Skywalker stuff. I just don't want them to retrend Return of the Jedi. That's
Yeah,
my biggest fear right now, is that they're just gonna repeat stuff from Return of the Jedi.
I think that would be sort of hard to do at this point because the Snoke figure is gone, so there's no or Snoke's gone, so there's no Emperor figure. Basically, all bets are gone. All bets are off. I think.
But as far as you know, they're gonna make, a planet killer the size of a sun.
Oh,
If a planet, it's gonna be a sun killer.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, especially since it's JJ. So
Yeah. Well,
who knows? But yeah, there's a lot of things that people were expecting to see in The Last Jedi, like the Knights of Ren never really came back. Well, they sort of were mentioned because Kylo like killed them or something.
really?
Yeah, wasn't it like the Knights of Ren were like Luke's students that he was training, and then when Kylo got seduced by Snoke, he like killed them? That was like my interpretation, but maybe that's totally wrong.
Oh, I
Maybe,
thought that the Knights of Ren just. I thought he like kept a couple of them, and they just kind of formed their own little band and had
okay, yeah,
a gig.
that's maybe what it is. But anyway, that's never like explored. Um, it's never explained how who's Lupita Nyong'o got the lightsaber in Force Awakens. I don't think that's ever explained.
Oh, yep, that was never explained.
Um, and then a lot of people think that Rey's parents being nobody, a lot of people think that's going to get changed. I hope not, but a lot of people,
I really hope that that's not the case.
yeah, me too. I think it's perfect how it is, but
It's like, oh, she wasn't Luke Skywalker's son, then how did she have the Force? Because, children are born with the Force? I don't know. But yeah, Star Wars 9. Deliver, JJ, or else you're gonna disappoint even more Star Wars fans that hated The Last Jedi.
mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we need is more people hating Star Wars.
We
I mean,
should honestly do like a recap video of like you, myself, and like Brando. I'll do one just kind of recapping our thoughts on the sequel trilogy.
yeah,
9 comes out.
yeah. I mean, I think I said this last time. Like, there isn't a single Star Wars film that I think is like really, really great. Like, Empire is the best, obviously, but even that I don't think is like great. Like, I'm a bigger fan of the world than I am of the movies, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And like that goes for the sequels too. I don't like Last Jedi is definitely my favorite of the sequels, but I don't think it's like a like like I really, really like it. I wouldn't call it a great movie.
No.
Um, like I'm a fan of the story, but I wouldn't call it like a great movie. So anyway, I'm not. I have like tempered expectations for Star Wars 9, but
Once when the first trailer drops, I'm gonna lose my effing mind. But yeah, after
oh
that,
yeah,
it'll be good.
yeah, same.
So,
Um,
what are some of these films that don't have a date? Because I have one left that doesn't
uh,
have a date.
okay, so one of them is. I'm trying to think what order I want to do this. All right, I'll talk about this one. So this movie I had never heard of until I was doing research for this video. It's called Jojo Rabbit. So I'll
What?
give you the. So the description is a young boy in Hitler's army finds out his mother is hiding a Jewish boy in their home. Now you're probably thinking this sounds like a total period piece like drama, and that's what I thought too. But it turns out it's like a dark comedy directed by Taika Waititi. Yep.
What?
Yep. So it's gonna be like a Nazi parody comedy movie starring Taika Waititi as Hitler, Sam Rockwell, and Scarlett Johansson.
This is my most anticipated movie of 2019.
Yep. I couldn't believe it when I found it. And that's all there is to know about it. I think there actually is an image of Taika as Hitler. It's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I I'm very excited
Wow.
for this.
Yeah, I mean, Thor Ragnarok is my second favorite MCU film behind Infinity War,
Yep.
and it might be my favorite comedy of this decade.
Wow.
It might be because,
Yeah.
I don't know, Ragnarok is so quirky and so weird, but it kills me every time, and I get something new out of it as well. I haven't seen Hunt for the Wilder People, and I haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, but
Yeah. I'm.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have this on my radar because dark comedy is my genre. That's why I like things the best. Like The Nice Guys was great. I wasn't huge on In Bruges, but it was funny for sure. And so yeah, I've definitely Taika Waititi as Hitler. That just sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Or I don't know if he's actually. Apparently, he's not like actually Hitler. He's like a little kid. He's like the boy's imaginary friend, but the imaginary friend is like his ideal like Hitler. So anyway, it's like a comedy about a Nazi boy like questioning his Nazi-ness, starring Taika Waititi's Hitler. Anyway, it's a Taika Waititi movie. It's got Nazis in it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's not gonna
So
be controversial at all.
yeah, no chance will it be controversial.
I wonder what he did when he pitched this movie to the studio.
Yeah, right.
'Cause,
I mean,
I had to pitch my
oh no, did we freeze
character
again?
drama. I had to pitch my character drama in front of like six people, and they were kind of like character drama. So I can't imagine going to be like in this comedy. I'm just they're like, what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know what the hell is happening, but all right, I'm back.
All right.
All right, so I have two more.
Okay.
So another one is apparently it's called The French Dispatch, but I think it's technically called Untitled Wes Anderson Film.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not too much to say really. It's a Wes Anderson movie set in France, and the cast is like insane. Timothy Chalamet, Benicio del Toro, Tilda Swinton, Bill Murray, Frances McDormand, Jeffrey Wright, and Leah Seydoux. Um, so yeah, really, that's literally all there is to be said because no one knows any details. But I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, and the cast sounds really, really great. So I'm excited for it.
I need to see more of his stuff because I'm not a huge Wes Anderson fan. Like,
I think I think you need to see more of his early stuff. I
yeah,
like his early stuff better than his later stuff.
like I like Moonrise Kingdom a good deal. Grand Budapest Hotel I enjoy, but I don't think it was like one of the best movies of that year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And to this day, I still hate Fantastic Mr. Fox.
All right.
So
Interesting.
I know it's a controversial thing because everyone is supposed to love Wes Anderson, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah. He's definitely not for everybody. And I like his stuff just gets like in general like not as good for me, so it's sort of weird that I'm still excited about his movies, but anyway.
Okay.
So that's that, and then my last anticipated movie was also on my 2018 anticipated list because I thought it was
Yeah.
coming out last year. So
Yeah.
that's The Irishman. Is that on your list too?
Yeah, that's my last film.
Yeah, yeah. So yep, this is
Realistically, how could you not be about this?
yeah,
But go on. I
and
digress.
yeah. And Martin Scorsese back at it, um, back with all his classic actors. Robert De Niro's back. Joe Pesci is back after being retired apparently because he wanted to do this movie, I guess. Al Pacino, Harvey Keitel, a lot of people, but I guess this movie's been like done for a while now, but they're just working really, really hard on the making people like younger. I forget what that's called.
De aging.
The de-aging effects. So I'm a little worried because I think the majority of it they're supposed to be really young. So I just hope that it looks good. But I
I
know Martin
mean,
Scorsese would wait like 4 years if that's what it took to make them look good. So I'm confident in him as a
Martin
director.
Scorsese has utilized special effects. Like people talk about the big Marvel films. But Martin Scorsese is a master at some of the special effects stuff.
Hmm.
Like Hugo looked really good. Um, in like certain sections of The Wolf of Wall Street that you wouldn't think was CG actually was CG.
Mm.
Like he just seamlessly blends it. So I don't have any worries about the makeup or anything. It's
Yeah.
funny you talked about Joe Pesci. Martin Scorsese, I think, asked him like 20 times before he said yes.
Wow.
And to me, it's like, why would you deny Martin Scorsese, man who won you an Academy Award in 1990?
uh, I feel like Joe Pesci doesn't give two shits about Academy Awards. Wasn't his acceptance speech just thank you?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
I think it was like the shortest acceptance speech of all time. So anyway, but yeah, hopefully he's not phoning it in. I'm sure he's not.
See,
Um,
for me, if someone was gonna phone it in, it's Robert De Niro.
yeah,
The last great Robert De Niro performance.
great. I mean, he's good in Silver Linings Playbook, but he doesn't have a lot to do.
See, for me,
Um,
that was the last great performance.
okay, yeah. And his last really great performance, I don't know.
Let me
Heat,
think this.
Heat
Name the
probably.
last good Robert De Niro film.
Like that's him starring.
Yeah,
I would probably say Heat. I don't know if you've seen it. That was 95.
I haven't seen Heat yet. Because let's just read down the list of films he starred in. Um, Dirty Grandpa happened. The Comedian, which nobody saw. Um, you have a film called Heist, which went straight to DVD.
That's a shame.
The the Intern, which I heard was cute, but wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
Grudge Match, which I forgot existed. Last Vegas, which I forgot existed. He had a cameo in American Hustle, which I occasionally forget he's even in American Hustle.
Oh, right. He is an American Hustle.
He's in this film called Killing Season, which with John Travolta that nobody saw. The Big Wedding, which nobody saw. And that's just within the past 5 years.
Yeah. Al Pacino's sort of like the same way too.
He was the, I don't know. His crazy his Jack and Jill cameo kind of kills me with a Dunkachino.
It's so bad.
It's so bad, but it's like so cringy. You just gotta laugh at it.
No. Yeah, maybe Joe Pesci was smart to just say, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Rob De Niro and Pacino are just embarrassing themselves.
But yeah, no, I'm obviously excited for this film because Martin Scorsese is still an incredibly the dude hasn't lost a step.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching Silent soon. I haven't seen that.
Yep. Same. Same. Same.
Haley saw it and she said that it was really good.
Yeah.
And again, him reuniting his team, like this is gonna be the first film him and De Niro have done since I don't know how
Casino.
long. Like
Maybe.
Casino. I think that was the last film they did together was Casino. It's gonna be their eighth collaboration.
There must have been one after, but maybe not. Oh yeah, because he was in. Didn't he have a Shutter Island cameo?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I thought he was like in it very briefly.
No. Although I am a bit disappointed that they didn't get, Leonardo DiCaprio in this film. Just because DiCaprio and, Scorsese have a really good, team up thing going on right now, but, you know, there isn't a whole lot to say because there's no trailer or anything. We just know The Irishman's coming out. There's gonna be a lot of special effects with the aging then. That's probably gonna look relatively really good.
Yeah.
The Irishman.
Um, I'll actually go a different way. I'll say it's almost like a relief to not see Leonardo DiCaprio in a Martin Scorsese movie. I mean, he's always good in them, but I don't know. He just seems like he's in every single one, and it's like no other actors are getting a chance to like lead a Scorsese movie lately.
Okay.
Um,
I see what you mean right there.
and it's not like he's done with DiCaprio because they have like two future movies already like announced. Like I think there's going to be a Teddy Roosevelt movie with Leo in the lead, or something. But
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so hopefully Robert De Niro has a big comeback year with The Irishman and The Joker.
Yeah.
Um,
It'd be funny if like the Irishman is like
Terrible, and the Joker's
it's worse than Dirty Grandpa.
and the Joker's like better than The Dark Knight.
You didn't see Dirty Grandpa, did you?
No.
Uh, uh, Braden played some of it in my dorm last year, and I've never been more creeped out than like I think she was like a 20-year-old hitting on a 76-year-old man wanting him to fuck her.
Oh goodness.
It was creepy. So that's the career Robert De Niro has gone through.
Yeah. It's so weird that Robert De Niro can't get himself in good movies. Like what the hell?
I just don't think he's trying.
Yeah.
He probably just doesn't care. He's like, oh, I'm out De Niro. I'm set for life. It's like, you are. Not so. That cat.
Yep. I thought it actually ended the call, but it hit the mute button. Like
Okay.
jumped on the table.
So
So
that was your ninth film.
yes, I think I know. I've talked about all of them.
All right. So we're gonna go into the last section of this video, and we're gonna give out the bronze, silver, and gold medal of what we're most excited for. So Van, starting with you, bronze medal going to.
My bronze medal goes to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Um, been a couple years since a Tarantino movie, but they're always really great. They're always really original. And this one, especially just from the initial pictures, looks really great. The cast is fantastic. Just the look of like the images that we've seen so far has been great, and yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Okay. Which is silver.
My silver is Star Wars 9. Um, I almost feel like it shouldn't be like I guess a medalist, if you want to call it that, just because I'm sort of worried about it, honestly. But just in terms of like the hopes I have for it and how curious I am about it. Um, Plus, it's just a Star Wars movie, so that's my silver. And you could probably guess, but my gold is Avengers Endgame. I normally would never have thought that, like 5 years ago, I never would have thought that a Star Wars movie wouldn't be my most anticipated of the year. But considering how perfectly Marvel has played this whole Infinity War,
So my question is, if Infinity War wasn't as good as it is, would Endgame not be your number one?
no, probably not. It would probably be my two or three.
Okay. So
I mean, if Infinity War was terrible, I wouldn't even be anticipating Endgame that much. But
yeah. Anyway, so my bronze medalist is same as yours. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's Quentin Tarantino making another movie with an exceptional cast. So I'm always looking forward to Quentin what he has to deliver. My silver one, however, goes to Godzilla King of the Monsters. The 5-year-old in me is screaming to put this as number one because monster fights, monster fights, monster fights. But number one has to go to Avengers Endgame.
mm-hmm.
It has to. I mean, this is it. This is what they've been building for 11 years. Infinity War, as I said, is still my favorite movie of the year. And so I'm just excited to see where they're going to end it. I don't even have a Star Wars film for my top three.
Yeah, yeah, I don't blame you. Um, I'm not even like that excited for Star Wars 9, weirdly. I'm just like Endgame is the only one that I'm in like very, very, very excited for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm excited to see it, but I don't need to be there like opening night kind of thing. Like Endgame is the one movie that I'm gonna be there opening night.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I get a group of friends to see an IMAX.
Yeah, that would be.
Definitely. Did you see Infinity War in IMAX?
I did manage to see it in IMAX. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
very much worth it.
yeah, definitely. But there it is, guys. Those are Van and I's pick for the most anticipated movies of 2019. And so, for the five of you listening, and for the one of you who actually went through this entire video, what's your most anticipated movie of 2019? Comment below and let me know, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully coming soon. See you later, guys.